welcome to Coffee Talk. I'd like to thank those who were at the premiere, and I will be linking you guys, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, on my next community post. If you missed the premiere, it was my goodie box to SD Mountain Man, my friend Scott, and it's about 20 minutes long. The Bud Files, welcome. Eddie O'Neill and Margie, welcome. Thank you for coming in. My friend Margie TV. Margie is over in the Philippines, or the other side of the world. She's got a wonderful channel. If you are not subscribed, I encourage you to connect with her channel. She will connect with yours. We will both grow together. She's a very good supporter, and she supports those who support her, as do I. Holly Ivans, welcome. For those of you who I did not see in my premiere, if you get an opportunity to, I think you'd enjoy it. Give it a shot. Please leave a like and a supportive comment. James Gip. Thank you, James. James has got a big channel. He has got a big channel. Good evening. I always have difficulty pronouncing your channel name. Ka. Tai. Va. Tong. Hop. I hope I pronounced that right. It's a mouthful. And no disrespect if I mispronounced it. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. KP Heathen. Uncle Al, thy bullfrog. Everybody connect. If you're not connected with everybody in the stream, please connect. All good channels. Good friends. Please leave a like to support my channel. It will be greatly appreciated. 3 likes, 7 in the house. I just concluded a few minutes ago my premiere of my goodie box for my friend, the SD Mountain Man, Scott. And he should be receiving his box tomorrow, according to the post office. I sent him a tracking number. His box is 6 pounds and 2 ounces, like the birth of a child. Sent him a 6 pound, 2 ounce box. And if you looked at the premiere, you'll see what was in it. Good stuff, good stuff. So if you want an opportunity to win my drawing for a better goodie box, which will also include a first aid kit, I encourage you to leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I have released prior to hitting my next number, which I'm about 30 some odd subscribers short of that. How long it'll take me to hit those 30 some odd subscribers could be overnight, could be a year. You never know. But I'm thinking in the foreseeable future. So if you want to have the opportunity to win a box, And if you won a box before, because I've been doing them every 100 subscribers, if you won a box before, I'm not going to keep you from winning again. And if I've given you a box, if I've sent you a box because you haven't won, but I support you, and I've given you a box, it's not going to prevent you from, if I pick your name out of the hat, you're it. But remember, I look for each of the last, and I'm not talking about shorts, and I'm not talking about live streams, I'm looking at people who commented supportively on my videos, each of the last 5 videos, prior to hitting that next number. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, Rachel. I did a community wall post today and shouted out, I indicated that my premiere was at 6:30, and I linked 16 or 17 channels that I support, good channels. Can't link everybody on one post, but I did link 16, I think, or 17 channels, good people. And I will do some more. I'm working now. I'm tired. Here it is. Here it is, like 7 something other in the evening, and I'm drinking coffee. Folgers. Folgers with French vanilla creamer. Good stuff. Good stuff. I wrote down the names of the channels that came in during my, I saw comments from during my premiere. Shadow Scout Swede left me a supportive comment. Vase Place, Verna, Die Bullfrog, Uncle Al, KP Heathen, Utah Mike, Eddie O'Near, Nelda Basilio, and the Bud Files. Yeah, coffee may go way up in price. It will probably. If you buy the freeze-dried that's good for 25 or 30 years, it's expensive. I drink lots of coffee. I buy lots of coffee. I've got lots of coffee. But you can never have too much coffee. Same thing with milk. I've got tons of whey milk. Milk alternative. What you'd say, freeze-dried milk? I got tons of that. You can never have too much of it. You use it with everything. Just got to mix it up with some cold water. Good stuff, good stuff. I will tell you, if SHTF happens in a big way, everybody cannot come to my house. It's like right now, SHTF's happening around the world and everybody's trying to come to the United States. Well, we can't take on the world's population. They're trying to, but we can't. Hillbilly Josh, my friend, welcome. Can't stay long, I'm working. I understand, Josh. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. If you get a chance in the near future, look at my premiere. I loaded up a goodie box for SD Mountain Man. Scott should receive it tomorrow. You're second in line. Got a little line. Second in line for a goodie box, Josh. So after I get through with number 1, I'm coming for yours. Joseph Moore is ahead of you, but I should be getting those loaded up in the near future. I can't really make fun of Joseph because he's not really an active channel. I can make fun of Josh because he's got like 1,200 subscribers. You know, he's right behind me, and I can pull some stuff off of his channel and put together a nice little clip, and I'll probably do that in the near future. And what I do with respect. I'm not making fun to make fun of people. I'm just having a little fun in the process, you know, You know, it's like a little shout out from me to whoever. Got a great deal on coffee from a shop called Ollie's the other day. Well, I'm glad you did. Glad you did. I buy a lot of Folgers sticks. The little plastic stick coffee, you get 7 for $1. 8 ounces of water, one of those sticks. Good stuff. Put a little French vanilla in it. Good stuff, good stuff. And I expect that to be going up. It hasn't, but I expect it'll be going up. Right now, I'm drinking 12 ounces from a pod. I also buy Folgers pods. I got a Keurig and I made 12 ounces in a pod. A little French vanilla. I don't have it on a coffee warmer, and it's getting cold. I really don't care for cold coffee. It was good till the last drop, though. So, talk a little bit about the news. You got all these protests and what they call encampments at a lot of these big universities. And they've done some damage. They're protesting, I guess, Israel. They're protesting the difficulty with the Palestinians. Back in October, there was a big attack, blindsided them. Something like 1,200 people, Israelis, died, and something like 250 people were taken hostage. It was a major. And they still say there's probably about 100 hostages that they haven't released. And Israel's been going in, digging them out, going into Gaza, digging them out. There's like a couple of million people living in Gaza. And they've been going in, and yeah, they've been taking out the fighters, but they've been civilian casualties. They embed themselves where the civilians are, so it's hard to get them without getting a few civilians, especially if you're like aerial bombing or what you're trying to pinpoint aerial bombing. It's difficult, and they say something like 30,000, and I don't know if that's an accurate number, but something like 30,000 people have died since all this started. Not good, not good at all. So you got a lot of protests going on, and you got a lot of counter protests going on, and some of these places, the schools are asking, "Hey, we're trying to have finals, we're trying to do commencements and everything. They're really jacking us up. Can we get some help?" So law enforcement's been going in. They've been going in and arresting people. I think they pulled something like 25 or 30 people out of that building at Columbia in New York. They arrested some, there's another college there, which is a sub-campus of the Columbia, part of the system. They pulled like 100 people out of that one, arrested them. And there's a lot of fighting going on, back and forth. And there's a big standoff, I think, out in California. They don't want to do anything to the students out there. So, a lot of crap. Gasoline right now is over $3 a gallon here in Victoria, where I'm at. Prices keep going up. Everything's going up. Right now, we don't have any shortages. We just have increased prices. You could go back to having shortages. If we go back to having shortages, do you have your necessities? You remember when there was a run on toilet paper? I hope everybody's got some toilet paper. Shake family, welcome. And I hope I mispronounced your channel correctly. Thank you for coming in. If you are not connected, please connect. So, you know, my thing is, can't we have peace? Lots of stupid stuff going on in the world. And I'm not taking a side. I'm just saying stupid stuff going on. Yesterday in South Carolina, I think it was in Charlotte, law enforcement was trying to serve a warrant. 8 police officers got shot. 8. 4 of them died. 3 died right when it happened. 1 died overnight. 4 more were injured. And they found the body of the person who did the shooting. They were trying to enforce a warrant that they had. Horrible. These people have families. They have children. You know, and their spouses, and I don't know who I don't know the identities, if they're male or female or whatever. But you know, they got spouses and they got kids, a lot of them. And now the spouse doesn't have a husband or wife, and the little kids don't have fathers or mothers. You know, because some nut they were going to get, and SWAT team, they brought in a SWAT team and everything, and you know, you don't do stuff like that and get away with it. They're going to get you. They're either going to kill you, or you're going to commit suicide, or something's going to happen. When you start killing police officers, your life is basically over. You know, and I say it all the time. It's a dangerous job. They don't get paid a lot. They're not getting rich doing this. They're providing a service. The military, they're providing a service to our country. You know, they're not getting rich from it. They basically get their living, and they get food. And if they're married, you know, they get housing for their, you know, a little bit of housing allowance, you know, and help with the kids. I mean, it's dangerous, long work. And everybody should be appreciative. You know, appreciative. Three in the house. Uncle Al, I appreciate your advice about grain. And yes, everybody should have a manual grinder. It's good to have an electric one, but if something happens and the power goes out, you better have a good manual one. Matter of fact, it'd be nice if you had 2, because it could theoretically break. Same thing like with the can opener. Have a good manual can. Have a couple of them. You know, manual can openers are like $5 or $6 for a good one. You know, $5 or $6. Have 2 or 3. Now a grinder, you're going to pay $40, $45, $50 or more for a good manual grinder. Now maybe you'll find one for less. Maybe you'll find a used one, you know, or one on clearance. But I'm saying that if you were to go and look on Amazon and say, I want a manual grinder, you're going to be looking at $45, $50 probably. And it's if you've got, you know, grain and oats and various things, you want to make flour for bread, you need a good grinder. You need to wait, and you can't just use a more, you know, like a mogaheti, you know, mortars and pestle. You know, you can't just do it that way. You know, with the old. like the old apothecaries. They basically old school. Um, what are you prepping? What are you prepared for? How much do you have? Do you have a supply of food that's available? Do you have a supply of bottled water? The water goes out. Do you have a clean source of water? Do you have a means to purify water? Do you have a means to test water? What do you have, if anything? If you don't, you need to. You take medication. How much of a supply do you have? How long will that last? Do you wait till you're on the last couple of days before you get a new dose? Get a new prescription? You have to think about that kind of stuff. You know. The Scout motto is be prepared. You know, being prepared, preparations are ongoing. It's not like a sprint to go get all that stuff, at once. It's more of a marathon. Prepping is a marathon. It's long term. And you need to start out with developing an inventory of what you have and a list of what you need. Or you can make a list. These are things that I need. And then start figuring out which of those do you have and which of those do you need to get. And budget for it. You can budget your preps. So I have so much money a month I can spend, or so much money a paycheck I can spend for prepping. And start buying preps. And one of the first things that you do is you start trying to develop depth in your food and your water. Start buying gallons, but you can always refill the bottles. Plastic bottles, gallons of water. It's good to get the ones that have basically a way to tote it. And you want water, and you want canned food, and you want food that'll last a while, that has a shelf life to it. Crackers, oatmeal, peanut butter, jelly, ramen, rice, beans. I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive stuff, but you need enough of it to last you a while. And you need to calculate who's with you. How many people are with you? How many people are you feeding? How many people do you need to have water for? And you need to calculate that. So much for each one. Yeah. Every month, first day of the month, I get an email. Everybody gets an email from our technology, and they talk about cyber attacks, and they talk about viruses. They talk about phishing or splishing or whatever they call it. If you find a little device like a little USB or some such, they say don't load it. Don't look what's on it. It may be intended for you to find it, and it'll have a virus on it that can upload into your system. They say be very careful about it. Be careful opening attachments. Be careful if you don't know, somebody sends you something other, you don't know who they are, don't open it. I answered a phone call today. I looked to see, it said Sinton, Texas. My closest family member on my mother's side of the family, my cousin Barbara Ann, who helped raise me, used to change my diapers. She lives in Sinton, and she's in her 80s. And I thought, man, did my cousin pass away? I said, I need to answer this. I normally don't answer unless I know who it is. And it didn't have anything to do with that. It was somebody trying to sell me insurance, you know. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm working, hung up on him. I block a lot of those. I block a lot of those. Wayne, long time no see, the ungrateful peasant. I need to go over to your channel and listen to some of your latest on what's going on. I really appreciate your perspectives. I like Wayne's driving. He will drive and he will talk for 5-10 minutes. I like those. You know, he'll talk about what's going on, what he thinks about what's going on. He served in the military. Thank you for your service. He doesn't like me to say that. He doesn't like me to say thank you for. But I thank people for their service. I thank responders. I thank law enforcement, paramedics, firemen. You know, I thank people for their service. It's a blessing, and I thank them. So, I'm behind on my game. I have not been live streaming every day the way I normally do. I normally try to do an hour, and I've missed quite a bit the last couple of weeks. I haven't been doing videos the way, you know, I haven't been doing a lot of videos. I don't do a lot of videos, but I have been doing a lot of videos. I haven't been doing a lot of shorts. Some people release 4 or 5 shorts a day, and I release 1 or 2 a week. Sometimes I release, like last weekend, I released 4. 3 of them had over 400 views each, and one of them had like about 90. And then I released one on my dogs middle week, and it had like 400 and some odd views. And then I released another one that had like 20 something. And I released one this morning, and it has like 80 or 90. So I'm not embarrassed about one with 80 or 90. But I mean, for whatever reason, the algorithm hasn't been being kind to me lately. Um, I have 10 likes, and there are 3 or 4 in the house. Slow night. Maybe everybody's live streaming tonight. I don't know. I do not know. But I did run a playlist. I have got to go back and leave comments and likes, let you know who I run it on. I'm behind on doing that. I'm tired. I'm really tired. I keep saying that. I turned 62 this last week. And I feel it. Work. You know, you get up in the morning at 5 o'clock, go to work, and sometimes it's a stressful day. We're STAR testing right now, which is the state assessment, academic state assessment kids take. Got one more day of testing tomorrow. Be the 8th graders for math. One of them is an absolute pain in my butt. Constantly disrespecting people, cussing, being disrespectful. Every other word out of the kid's mouth is F-U-C-K. And he's an ED kid, and I got to put up with him. Parent shows up, defends the kid. You know. My former boss used to say fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, sometimes the fruit and tree is not too good. Becoming dangerous. Yes, sir. Thank you. That's Wayne's backup channel. Second channel. That second channel is probably bigger than mine right now. My channel hasn't been growing that much because I haven't been putting that much into it. I will be doing a subscriber giveaway when I hit 1,600. I'm 30 some odd short. In order to qualify for the drawing from the hat, your name to be in the hat, you've got to leave me a like and a supportive comment on the last 5 videos I released prior. When I hit that 1,600, I'll take the last 5 videos, look to see who left in each one. However many names there are, they will go in a hat and I'll do a drawing, and whoever gets drawn, that's where it goes. And hadn't done recently because I haven't grown that much recently. In the last month, I think I've picked up about 20. Last cycle, I picked up about 25 new subscribers, and I was sitting at 1,520 forever and a day. I really did that for a couple of months, just sitting about the same. Pick up a couple, lose a couple. Pick up a couple, lose a couple. And I don't know. So, I do appreciate everybody coming in, and I do try to support those who support me. I run live streams, and I watch videos, but I run live streams on playlist. And you drop something other, and it's 5-10 minutes, I watch it. And I always try to do a full watch, and I try to leave a supportive comment and a like, and oftentimes I'll say what like number I am. Sometimes I click that little button that they installed, and it says, well, blink. Well, that's how much you see that little number. That's how much of the video I watched, you know. Sometimes I click that thing. Sometimes I don't. And the way that works is you got to really click it when the thing's just over. It kicks to something else, and you can't do that. But Melinda Elliott, thank you for coming in. I had like 8 channels leave comments during my premiere. And the way it works, if you actually leave one during the stream, it doesn't remain. The comment doesn't remain. When the live stream when the live stream or when the premiere ends, those comments are lost. So you got to go back after the live stream or after the premiere and leave a comment, and then it will stick. It'll show. You know. So if you were at my premiere, you need to go back and leave a comment, because I'm anticipating that this premiere is going to be one of the 5. And you said, well, I was at the premiere, but when I go to make my list and I write down all the names of the channels that came in and left comments, yours won't show if you don't go back after the end and go back and leave a comment, because it won't show. It doesn't keep those. Same thing with a live stream. You know, it doesn't show. One of the reasons why I write down names of channels that come in on my live stream, so I have a list. That way I can go back and shout them out, or I can give them some love. You know. And it is what it is. Don't worry about it, Mom. Don't worry about it. Like, I've had 14 channels come into my live stream tonight and leave comments. Right now I've got 13 likes. Had 14 channels come in. Belinda's Country Living, thank you for coming in. Like right now, I'm dragging. I am trying to get through for an hour. A little over 20 minutes to go. I think part of my problem is I'm out of shape. I don't exercise the way I was. I've gained some weight. In this summer, I'm going to try to get back into exercising. I may wind up joining a health club or gym or whatever you want to call it and go work out. I need to do a lot more walking. And I need to drop some weight. And hopefully that will speed my metabolism up and give me a little bit more energy. You know, I periodically would show people pictures of me from like 30 years ago or more. I don't look like I did back then. People really, would not recognize me. I mean, I looked good back then. And I'm not saying I was like the most best looking guy on the planet, but I looked good. I looked good in my clothes. I had a flat stomach. I looked good in my clothes. I had nice hair that I don't have anymore. I wore contact lenses. Had a nice goatee. Everything was blonde. I was a blonde. Now it's white, and I look more like Santa. But back in the day, I looked good in my clothes, and had a lot more energy. A lot more energy than I do today, and it's just slowing down. Just slowing down. I'm not the man I used to be. Yeah, part of aging. I I think a lot about what's going on. I plan for the future. Uh, I may live another 30 years or more. I may be gone tomorrow. My my father's baby brother just passed away here a couple weeks ago. He would have been 94 in July. His older brother, the middle brother, was 94 when he passed. 94. My dad was 64, but my dad used tobacco from about the age of 12. A couple of years before I was born, my father stopped smoking and he started chewing. My mom stopped smoking, and that probably affected their somebody's fertility was affected, because lo and behold, here they are having been married for 21 years and they have me, and I'm an only child. So, I grew up with that generation. The people from that, I associated with the people from that generation. I grew up on World War II stories, associating with people that were young at that time. My father and my uncle both served during the war, 43 to 46. I grew up on stories about how they went all over the damn place. The Eastern, the European theater, North Africa, Sicily, um, England, France, into Germany. Um, Likewise, I used to eat those field rations and such. My father would get those things. He'd go out to he had base pass. He could, being a veteran, he could go out to the base and he'd go to the commissary and he'd get, you know, field rats and such. All that canned stuff. And I can remember being a teenager and getting those packages, those dark packages, of military field food and such. Um, you didn't enjoy it that well, but you ate it, and you'd eat a little bit of it. And I got to experience that. And then the stuff started getting better, started getting better. And it's edible today. You don't want to eat it for an extended period of time, but it's edible. Um, I eat a lot of stuff that's in retort pouches. Whether you're talking about like Hormel Completes or Dingy Moores or, I eat a lot of brown rice, chili beans, that kind of stuff. This has about an 18-month shelf life on it. Yeah, I tell you what, they've got 1,000 or so soldiers over there trying to build uh, a landing area where they can dock a ship and unload. And they want to be able to unload a couple of million meals a day. Coming off of. They had a tragic thing happen here recently. They would drop, well, like we drop what's called humanitarian daily rations. And they're geared so that they don't offend anybody's religion. It's all vegetarian. And they're like 24-hour, you get a case, it's got 10 24-hour rations in it. Doesn't have heaters, what they call a FRH. Doesn't have a heater. Doesn't have any beverages, but it'll have components in it. That you can supposed to get you by for a day. And we dropped pallets of that stuff, pallets and pallets of that stuff. I don't know who it was, and I don't know if it was us or if it was the Brits or the French or somebody else. They're all dropping pallets. But somebody dropped, and they drop them out of like a cargo plane. They roll them out the back, and the parachutes open up. Well, one of those pallets they dropped, somebody dropped a pallet. The parachutes didn't deploy. And you got a couple of 1,000 pounds or more on a pallet, landed on a house, went down through, killed like 7 or 8 people. Went through the ceiling, came down, and killed a bunch of people. And horrible. Horrible. But stuff like that happens. First time I've heard of that one, but I guess it happens occasionally. Every once in a while, you've got paratroopers, and somebody's chute doesn't deploy, and they drop down and die. Kills them. It's only that last inch that hurts. They're falling something like 32 feet per second. I think that's the speed, like something like 30 some odd feet, 30 some odd feet per second. And they fall, and God bless them. They wake up hopefully on Judgment Day. Yeah, I can imagine they're trying to do a good deal and they're under fire. Idiots. Oh, you heard the latest? They're contemplating bringing these Palestinians from Gaza over here. Do you want to flood us with more jihadis? They're already saying death to America. They're already burning our flag. They're already rioting. Do we want to bring more of these people into our country? I don't. The Democrats do. I don't. You know, right now you got 50 million foreign born people living in the United States. Out of right at 350 million people, you got 50 million foreign born people living here. Oh, the Democrats would like them to vote because most of them would vote Democrat. You'd never get somebody who's competent elected president again. We would basically be a socialist hell. We're turning into one now. I'm sure that the algorithm will put up a warning about the dangers of my content. You know, I'm corrupting everybody with my hate. Oh, dear God in heaven, help us. Mom, we're not insane, but the people who support the left are insane. It's all part of the agenda. They got a big agenda to make us part of a world or a Western super government. But they've got to basically trash the United States to make us on the same level as everybody else. One of the things they can do is basically destroy our ability to vote in reasonable people. You know, destroy our economy, destroy our money, destroy the dollar, bring us down to a level where we're socialist. They want to try to remove our ability to own weapons. They've got a big agenda, you know. And I don't know, you know. It's got to get a lot worse for it to be the end of days. Plus, the Jews have to build their temple. You know, they have to build the temple. You know, the third temple is part of the book of Revelations. What happens? And then all the idiots have to attack Israel, and God has to intervene and destroy them. You know, and there are going to be a lot of end time plagues. Have we experienced any plagues? Any pandemics? You know, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. But you know, if I put out touchy feely, if all I did was put out touchy feely, YouTube loved me. They love the animals, they love the plants, they love all that stuff. You know, they don't love the preppy stuff. You know, they don't love the political stuff. You know, and I put out stuff that they don't like. So, 7 in the house, 13 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Well, yes, Cinco de Mayo's coming up. Big Mexican holiday. Cinco de Mayo and 16 de Septiembre are the two big Mexican holidays. One's in September, the other one's in May. Rome fell thousands of years. Let's see. Get out of the way here. Rome fell for Rome fell for 1,000 years and God didn't save them. Pretty sure that they thought it was the end times, just like the Middle Ages and World War One. Yet people are arrogant enough to think that we are in or any. You know what I say. Take what I say for what it's worth, because I've studied scripture and I've studied history and I know the history of religion and the church and all that sort of stuff. Um, if you look at the elements that are around during the end of days, part of that is, or a major part of that, Israel, the Holy Land, plays a major part, and the Jews will rebuild their temple. They established the state of Israel in 1948, and they will rebuild their temple. There will be a third temple. Right now, the problem is where they want to put the thing. There's a mosque sitting on it. They will make a determination, and they will build the temple, and they will reestablish all of the feasts and all of the worship and everything that they traditionally did, back when there was the first and the second temple. And they may even have the Ark of the Covenant, that may turn up and be in the temple. So, end of days might not happen for 100 years or more. Might happen 10 years from now. I don't know. How long does it take to build a temple? Think about that. Yeah, prepping's on the AI's hit list. I'm a bad guy. I talk about preparedness and prepping. I'm a bad man. Horrible of me. Well, one of the reasons that Rome fell, or a major reason that Rome fell, was they started using mercenaries. They started using more mercenaries than they used Romans. They allowed barbarians inside the empire. They opened the borders and they allowed all the barbarians to come in. They started using them as mercenaries. And then they had problems paying them. And they were cranky. And you had weak leaders. Weak leaders. So the Western Empire is supposed to have fallen in 476 AD. Last emperor was Honorius. Fell to the Ostrogoths. The Eastern Empire, which they started calling the Byzantine Empire, it lasted until 1453. And as a matter of fact, probably one of the greatest leaders who had really good generals was Justinian. And he decided he wanted to reunite the Western and Eastern. He wanted to reunite the empire, and he did a long pull on that. He did a really long pull on that, and he reunited a lot of it. But then they had a plague, the Black Death, hit, killed half the population. That really hurt him. That really hurt them. And then Islam started, and the Eastern Empire had a hell of a time with Islam. And eventually, the capital, Constantinople, named after Constantine, they call it Istanbul now. It fell in 1453 under siege. So lots of bad things. Yeah. Thank you, Uncle Al. Those pesky Germans, my ancestors, and the Nordic peoples, the Germans, they're the largest ethnicity in the United States. The British and the Germans. The heartland of the United States, that's where predominantly doesn't have as much population, a lot more rural, but it's very conservative, very Nordic, very, very well armed, and you don't have all the illegals going to these areas. The illegals, half the illegal population is in 4 states: California, Texas, New York, and Florida. Florida is actually a little more conservative than Texas. Can't believe that they'd be in Florida, but half the illegal population, those 4 states. And Texas recently just got a ruling, a 7-2 Supreme Court ruling, that basically upheld the laws. It is a felony to be an illegal. It is a felony to support an illegal, and it is passed a law to use force to secure the border. God bless Texas. SD Mountain Man, you missed your premiere, son. You missed your premiere. You should be getting, thank you for like 16. You should be getting your box tomorrow. Might have got it today, or once in a while those things come in early. But you should get it tomorrow, and if you don't get it tomorrow, you probably get it by Friday. But according to I don't know if you've been checking the tracking. But you should be getting it. Little Lone Prepper, hello. Been mowing. I will watch these tomorrow. But got 3-hour drive to first. Hey, take care of yourself. You don't need to watch anytime. Just when you get a chance. Hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the box when you get it. Let me know. I'd like to see an unboxing video. When you get the box, do an unboxing video. I'd like to see that. Mail call. So it's at times like this. Are you prepared? Are you starting to get prepared? Do you have an inventory of what you have, and do you have a list of what you need? Are you budgeting for it? Do you have your scenarios? Do you know what you need to prepare for? What is your SHTF scenario? Do you have medication? Mr. Whistle, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Joseph Moore in the house. Well, Joseph, you will be the next person to get a box from me. And I'll start in the very near future putting your box together. I'll do a video. I like to do those videos. If you want an opportunity to win a goodie box, one of my subscriber goodie boxes, which will also have a first aid kit in it, a nice first aid kit, you need to leave me a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I release. At the point that I've hit that 1,600, I'm at 1,561, I think, when I started here. 1,561 subscribers. When I get those next 39, I hit 1,600. I will be doing another subscriber giveaway. So if you want to be on my list and if you want to be in my hat when I draw out a name, you need to leave me a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I release up to that point. This premiere video will be one of them. So the thing about a premiere video is the same thing about a live stream video. You go and you watch a live stream, you leave a comment, that comment is no longer there when the live stream ends. The likes are there and the watch time is there, but there's no identification of who gave them. You've got to go back after it spools up and it loads up as a rewatch to leave a comment in order for it to stick and for it to show. Same thing with the premiere. You need to go back. If you were one of those 8 people that I wrote down names, 8 people during that premiere, you need to go back and leave a comment. The like will be there. If you left me a like, the like's there. But you want your name in the comment section, you've got to go back and do it. Same thing with the live streams. Dick on Mixed Channel. Hello, Dick on Mixed Channel. Long time no see, young lady. Thank you for coming in. And I will try to go by and give y'all love, and I will try to do some community posts and link your channels. I did a community post today, nice community post. I think I linked 16, 17 channels. If you are not connected with Dick on Mixed Channel, or any of the channels in here right now, please do so. That way, you will hopefully grow together. And that being said, remember the Scout motto is to be prepared. Life is good, but it is what it is. I am tired, so I'm going to say good night. Everybody, please have a blessed day and join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye.